There's something about certain people that leaves you quietly stunned. They walk into a room and without needing to say much, the entire mood begins to shift. They don't rush. They don't perform. They are not trying to impress anyone. And yet, somehow, their presence speaks louder than words ever could. Everything around them begins to settle. You watch them and wonder, how do they manage this? Why does it feel so effortless for them, while you are still trying to keep your own world from falling apart? It's not magic. It's not luck. And no, it's definitely not because life has been easier for them. What you are witnessing is something rare, the art of action without pressure. A kind of presence that comes only when someone has learned to let go of attachment, especially the kind that weighs you down from within. They might still be working hard. They may have their own storms to face. But they don't carry that as a burden. Their achievements don't need to be shouted. They don't need to prove anything to anyone. Because they are not operating from fear or need. They are moving from a place of clarity. And that's exactly what makes their presence feel so light. This is the kind of inner power Krishna lived and embodied. Not the power to control others, but the strength to move forward without needing to hold on to the outcome. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna something most of us completely miss. He says, one who performs their duty without attachment, without clinging to the result, reaches the supreme. That's not just a nice idea. It's a complete shift in how you live your life, how you work, how you speak, and how you show up. Most of us have been taught something very different. We've been told to chase success, to grind constantly, to push until we win. We've been made to believe that our worth depends on the results we produce. If things go well, we are good enough. If they don't, then somehow, we've failed. So what do? We grip everything tightly. Our plans, our goals, our image, our relationships. We try to control every piece of the puzzle. We tell ourselves that if we just try hard enough, we'll finally feel like we've made it. But the tighter we grip, the more tiring it gets. And even when we do succeed, it doesn't feel peaceful. It feels heavy. This is where Krishna's wisdom becomes more than just a spiritual line. It becomes a lifeline. Because he's not asking us to stop trying. He's not telling us to give up. He's simply asking us to release the part that creates all the tension, the attachment. He's saying, do your work, but don't carry the weight of needing to control how it all turns out. Take a moment and really let that land. You are only responsible for your action, not for how the result unfolds. You are meant to move forward. But you are not meant to hold on to every possible outcome and try to twist it your way. And in that shift, in that one change, something powerful happens. You stop chasing approval. You stop planning your every step just to get applause. You begin to act with a kind of calm that feels almost unshakable. Not because you stopped caring, but because you started trusting. That trust, in your path, in your dharma, in something greater than your ego, is what makes your actions feel light and aligned. This is what Krishna was showing Arjuna on the battlefield. He didn't say, don't fight. He said, fight, but do it from the right space. Don't fight from fear or from anger. Don't fight just to win. Fight because this is your path. Fight with steadiness, not with desperation. Can you imagine how different your life would feel if you moved like that? Imagine working on something, not because you are afraid of failure, but simply because it brings you joy. Imagine helping someone, not for recognition, but because it feels right. Imagine building something, not for praise or status, but because it reflects who you are inside. That kind of action doesn't feel heavy. It moves with grace. It doesn't burn you out. It builds you up. We've all been taught to control, to force, to compete. But Krishna teaches something completely different. He teaches flow. He shows us how to stop clinging. He shows us how to surrender. Not in weakness, but in wisdom. And once you begin to live like that, even just for a moment, something begins to shift. You stop overthinking every little thing. You stop exhausting yourself trying to fix the world around you. You begin to walk with a kind of trust. Not blind, but grounded. Not anxious, but clear. Because the one who is walking now is no longer chasing shadows. They are walking in truth. And that's what makes everything feel so effortless. Not because it requires less from you, but because it no longer drains you with fear. Most of us hear the words, "let go," and we assume it means giving up. But Krishna shows us the opposite. Letting go is the beginning of true mastery. Because when you stop clinging to the future, your hands are free to build something that lasts. When you stop performing for the world, your words carry real meaning. When you stop trying to impress, your presence becomes something people naturally trust. This is what real ease looks like. It's not lazy. It's not passive. It's not indifferent. It's deeply focused, but gently held. It's full of effort, but free from pressure. And when you start to live like that, people will notice. They'll say you make things look easy. But the truth is, it was never easy. You just stopped making it harder than it had to be. You stopped linking your identity to your achievements. You stopped dragging your past into your every move. You stopped trying to earn your value through endless perfection. And in that space, something beautiful opened up. A rhythm, a silence, a strength that doesn't need to shout. This is what Krishna lived. And it's something you can live you. You don't have to rush. You don't have to perform. You don't have to prove anything. You simply have to show up. Do your part. And release the rest, like an offering to something wiser than yourself. And slowly, the struggle starts to turn into stillness. The pressure becomes presence. The fight becomes flow. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. And that, always, is enough.